Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how we fertilize and prune our gardens. So first things first, I have my little watering jug here. It holds about a gallon, I believe. And here is the Epsom salt we're going to be using for the ferns. So first we're going to fertilize our ferns. I have the eucalyptus scented because I just like it and I think it smells good, and it doesn't really matter because the ferns don't care. So we have this, it's just the generic kind. You're going to put 1 tablespoon of the Epsom salt inside of your gallon for each one. My hands are a little wet. I just sprayed everything down. Absolutely everything. Okay.
Including me.
Yeah. So we have this, so it's about how much you're going to need. You just pour it right in. And then I honestly just kind of let it soak in a little bit. So while this is like dissolving, we're going to get the next thing ready. So for the generalized flowers, so every flower that's not a rose or a fern or my actual garden plants, we're going to be using this garden feeder right here. It's from Miracle Grow. It's really nice. You just attach it to your hose. And this is their all-purpose feeder. So you just pour 1 whole bag into this. And you know, you can't garden unless you're messy because I sprayed water everywhere. I sprayed this everywhere. You know, it's fine. Like that. And that. So make sure you do this outside. Okay. Now I'm going to try to pick some of this up because I made a mess again. You know, guys, it's fine. Everything's fine. So I'm going to wash my hands off now. Kind of spray the deck down a little bit, get some of that out of here. If you guys don't have this little tool for your hose, you're missing out. It's just this little attachment here. You just put on the edge of your hose. It turns the water off when it's horizontal. When it's vertical, the water sprays out. So that's really nice if you're doing stuff like this where you have to change the hose heads out. Okay. This is ready for when we start to fertilize.
So you fill it completely up with that, right? Oh my. Lexi, hello.
Oops. Okay.
So yes, it'll fill up the whole bag.
Yes.
The whole bag is 1 fertilizer,
Yes,
one treatment.
Bumblebee. Anyway, yes, you will have this. So the water will go through here. This is where the hose attaches. It'll come through here, get the fertilizer, and then spray out. And then here you have 3 different attachments. You have the shower, which is what I usually use. You have like a jet, and then you have like a cone sprayer. I usually use the shower because it's softer on the flowers.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first round of this is probably soaked in now. So I'm going to come over here and water our Kimberly fern. Since they're so big, I try to water the entire fern with just 1 jug. Honestly, if you're doing this, it goes a little bit faster. We have big containers, so it can hold some water.
And what does that do for it? It just feeds it?
It makes it greener. There's a lot of sulfur inside of the Epsom salt, which helps the plant collect chlorophyll or create chlorophyll. So this plant is going to get a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and a lot more green. And you can do this once a month.
Okay. So that's just
Ferns
fertilizer.
don't like a lot of fertilizer, so I just do this once a month. And this is what I use as their fertilizer.
Okay. So 1 teaspoon to that whole thing for that. Or 1 tablespoon to that whole thing, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Just like that. Okay. We're going to fill this up again. Hopefully I don't spray the whole...
The flowers are getting better. They're getting bigger, not better. They are getting better, but...
What are you guys doing today?
Another one for the win.
You can show them our bird's nest when you go out up there.
Oh yes, we got to show you the bird's nest. Lots of birds. Lots of birds. Lots of birds. And babies. Babies. Lots of babies.
Yes. Okay, so another tablespoon. And if you get that feeder there, it gives you this special little outdoor feeder, so it just kind of shows you. It is a tablespoon. That side's a tablespoon. I believe this one's half a teaspoon, but I just use this. It's fine. especially if you have a big plant, they'll be able to hold it. Okay, I'll let that soak in a little bit. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to tell you guys about these knockout roses. So for our double knockout roses, we have the single and double. Dad actually just transplanted one, so the one I showed you guys yesterday is no longer there. The bug ate it, didn't go very well, so we got a new one. But we have these knockout rows, granular plant food. These you just measure out based on how big your plant is. So it says on the back here what you have. So if you have new plantings, you have a different, you only have 1.5 tablespoons per 4 foot. So I'll kind of explain over here what the 4 foot means. So this is the one that we're going to be pruning today as well. But it's talking about from here to here. This is what they call the drip line. The drip line is the very outer edge of the plant that could get water and then drip down to the ground. That's considered your drip line. It's not actually where your root is. And that's how you base off of how much fertilizer you should be getting. And then the rose food fertilizer, you just get a little measuring cup. I'll warn you, it smells really gross. I don't know why it smells so gross, but it almost smells like those little worm things you feed lizards. So gross. But you just fertilize the outside around it. You don't put them on the actual inside of the plant. You just do it around the drip line.
I think it'll kill it. It could. It'll burn them up.
Yep.
So that's why you go on the perimeters, and then it'll soak down into the roots.
Dad also got this kind. We love fertilizing, so that's why we have so many of these. This is our new kind. It's the exact same thing as what's inside of that Miracle Grow, but this is just the replacements for it. So if you already have that attachment, you can get these big ones like this, and then just pour it into that container, because the container automatically filters out how much fertilizer you need per how much you're watering.
And it really makes a huge difference. It does.
So for the roses, you will not fertilize them with the Miracle Grow because they have this fertilizer and that will burn them. So you do this, and I think you only have to do this every 3 months. So these granules are really slow releasing, so every time it rains or you water your flowers, it'll actually feed them. So that's for the roses.
If you guys want some of these to be linked up, we can link them up for you.
Yes. I'm gonna water
Just
them
let us know.
all at once.
So she's gonna.
These planters here are actually from Amazon. They are the self-watering ones, so you water them and then they have reservoir in the bottom, so they keep watering them even if there's a little bit of like a drought that's going on. I'd say honestly you probably need to water them about every 3 days instead of every day with this little reservoir.
Yeah, they're the self-watering pots.
Yes. Also make sure that the day that you fertilize, you don't actually water them and it's not going to rain. That's why we waited until today to do our video, because then it just washes away all the fertilizer and the roots can't absorb it. It gets diluted and it doesn't work as well. So all of your work just went to nothing. So make sure it doesn't rain. Okay, now we're going to fertilize.
Okay, so just explain how we fertilize this.
So you just take the little attachment here, you just screw it on.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I don't drop it again.
Yeah, you don't want to break it. That would not help. That doesn't help anything. Hi, Sally. Hello, everyone. Come on here and tell us what you guys are doing today. Such a beautiful day. It's warm. It looks like a pool day.
So when you have them like this, like I said, horizontals off. I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but now it's on. So the thing about these is that it has a lock and an unlock. If it's in the unlock position, you have to squeeze the handle here to get it to go out. So like this. That's what it looks like. Or you can lock it, and on the lock, you won't have to squeeze the handle. It automatically goes. So you just squeeze it down, and you lock it, and it just keeps going.
Okay.
I'm going to unlock it so you guys can kind of see. We put in a lot of that fertilizer, but you can see how the water goes through the chamber here and then comes back out. So that's how it gets the fertilizer out.
And it'll fill up with water, and as it fills up with water and you're shooting it out, it
you
just...
can kind of see the water in here.
Yeah. It'll go out on the plants, and it gets perfect.
Yep, so I just would spray all of these ones.
Hi, Stacy.
Going over there. And while we're doing that, that's kind of a boring job. It's just kind of like watering. So I'm going to show you guys how we prune our plants here.
Okay, let's prune.
Okay, so you can kind of see when we transplanted these ones, they got a little heavy, and they kind of rooted out here. They kind of got stringy. So if you come down here, and on these ones that are really hanging low, you could just trim off the bottom here to help with this. I did that earlier, so I'm not going to show you guys because I already did it.
it takes so much energy to get it to come back. So if you kind of give them a haircut is what I say. I don't know if that's the right way to say, but if I give them a haircut, then they come back.
So for these, I want Mom to come over here and kind of show you these. These are the dead blooms. And like I said, I literally just cut up by the top of them. I don't cut them super low because if you don't, then they'll come back and double right here. So there's 2 little sprigs right here, and it'll probably have 4 when it comes back.
And why that happens is because it takes so much energy to dispense those. If you take them off for the plant, then what happens is they will just multiply.
Yeah, they'll bloom a lot faster.
They just bloom faster.
Okay.
And sometimes even if they have a little bloom, but you can tell the different colors right there, they're about ready to be done. Yeah. So you can just top those off.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now for the geraniums, like I said, we haven't had these ones before, but now that we do have them, we know that they do not like being transplanted. So for these ones, they're different. They're not like roses. You have to come down to where the bottom of the stalk is right here. You can see there's a little node. So here's the node. You want to cut them off right here, and then that'll help it zap the energy. And here's the old ones. So
perfect.
So lay that there for later. Here's the next thing that we prune. All of these are the dead blooms that we had earlier, and these ones you just literally cut off.
It's very satisfying, honestly.
You kind of just round them off, kind of like a mound. These ones really do need haircuts. I would always suggest having a pair of gardening scissors. This is my gardening scissors because they get dirty.
And see, you'll see the new blooms coming up.
Yeah.
See that new little bloom there?
So the difference between these that you can see is this one's a dead bloom because it has kind of like the dead buds out here. This one's new because there's no topper on it. So you can see, like, this is like fried hair after you're like putting too much Aquanet in it, you know? This is the new hair.
Yeah, so these are beautiful, and these will actually go from spring to all the way into fall, and they will just be beautiful bloomed. They'll bloom all season basically, so they're awesome.
Yes. These will still have to prune. We'll do all of those, the fertilizing.
Yeah.
Okay,
We definitely do. And you can tell if you don't do it, because we haven't done it because it's been raining and stuff, that this is what they kind of look like, because they really like to have a good pruning. Hope that helps.
Yes.
And like these too as well. Look how pretty they are. And they'll continue to get that big, and they'll be so pretty and keep blooming all year if you give them a dead head on it.
Yes, and you can see how, like, here's the new blooms in our geranium. So this is where they're loving it. So that's why you cut them at the node, because at the node is where they start to bloom out. So there's another one growing right here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the old ones. So you just cut off these old ones, the ones that are dead, kind of wilted, and it'll help restore the energy into the new blooms.
Yep.
For my garden, I have these granules that you can do. You can actually get some that are specific for fruits and vegetables and flowers. But this one's just a generic one, so I could use it all over the garden. You just sprinkle it in. This is what the granules look like. See if I can spill some out. That's what they look like. You just sprinkle them in, and then as you water your garden or as it rains, it slowly releases. So you only have to do this every 3 months.
Hi, Roberta.
Okay. I hope you guys are going to go out and get your gardens looking beautiful. I'm going to take some before and after pictures of the garden before I fertilize and stuff. And as the summer goes on, we can compare some pictures from the beginning of the summer to the end. So let me know if you guys have any questions and if you guys want the links to all these things. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.